Hello, Sanbonani, and welcome to Melusi's Everyday Zulu Lesson 10. Now, before we start on this lesson, I'd like to acknowledge something that is obvious to everyone that's watching, which is I look quite different. In fact, I look much older than I did in the first 9 lessons, and I am missing my partner in isiZulu, Utenjiwe. That is simply because the first 9 lessons were recorded a long time ago. In fact, many years ago. They were recorded in 2019, whereas this lesson was recorded in 2024. So much time has passed and so much has changed. But what hasn't changed is that Everyday Zulu is here to help you with isiZulu and to help you understand it and become more comfortable with it. All right. So in this lesson, lesson 10, really all we're doing is we're recapping on what we did in the last 9 lessons. It is the final lesson, right? And this lesson is titled Asikhumbuzane. Asikhumbuzane. Asikhumbuzane is let's remind each other, right? So we're going to be reminding each other what we learned over the past 9 lessons. In lesson 1, we dealt with ukubingelela nokuzazisa. Ukubingelela nokuzazisa, which is what I did right at the beginning of this lesson. Greeting and introducing yourself. Ukubingelela is greeting. Ukuzazisa is introducing yourself. Then we moved on to lesson 2, which was imisindo. Imisindo covered the alphabet and pronunciations. Now, over the years that I've been running the Everyday Zulu project, pronunciations have been a big deal for a lot of the participants, right? People struggle with. So we covered those and also covered how the letter H changes the sound of some letters, right? So with the B, it moves from B to B. With the P, it moves from B to P. With the K, it moves from K to K. So these are all the things we covered, and I really hope you still remember. But even if you don't remember, you go back and you practice and you practice and you practice. And then we moved on to negating. Ukupika. Ukupika. Ngiyahamba, I am going. Angihambi, I am not going. So here it is the prefix angi. Angi, I am not doing that thing. Ngiyadla, angidli, I am eating, I am not eating. Ngiyadlala, angidlali. So that is negating, right? Which is quite important when you're expressing yourself and letting someone that you're not doing a particular thing. And then we moved on to verbs, action words, right? And how to ask questions. And isiZulu verbs were quite tricky. They are quite tricky, but we covered the various forms in which they come. And again, you can go back and check these lessons and also how to ask. Ukubuza, izenzo nokubuza, izenzo nokubuza. And then we looked at past, present, future, nemibuzo, which is past, present, future, and questions, right? And what we spoke about there is that in isiZulu, you've got the past, you've got the immediate past, and you've got the long ago past, right? So there's something that just happened a little while ago. There's something that happened earlier, and then there's something that happened much earlier. isiZulu differentiates between those 3 levels of past. And then we dealt with noun groups, right? So with isiZulu nouns, all of them start with the prefix. There's always e, a, e, u. Some of these prefixes denote a place, others denote food, others denote a thing, others denote a person, others denote plural. So remember, every isiZulu noun starts with the prefix, okay? And then we dealt with relationships. Relationships. And why did we deal with relationships? Because we interact with people around us all the time, which is why you want to learn isiZulu. So you can speak to the people around you who speak isiZulu. But we focused on really familiar relationships, right? We spoke about mom, dad, brother, cousin, uncle, so that you are able to call the people within your family, within your world, by their relevant and right isiZulu titles. And then we dealt with time, isikhathi, time. Time. You can't avoid time, right? You always need to know when things are happening, when you need to do what. So time is a critical thing, which is why we covered it. And then we also covered ukudla nokuphuza. Ukudla nokuphuza, which is eating and drinking. So we spoke about the different types of foods in isiZulu, how you ask for food, what cooking is called, and what preparing food is called, and what the different utensils are called, because we all have to eat and drink, regardless of whether you are vegetarian, a carnivore, or even a vegan. We all need to eat. And that is lesson 10, just recapping really everything that we went through on the first 9 lessons, and to officially say thank you very much for attending Melusi's Everyday Zulu and really taking the time to try and learn this language that is very important to you. Salani kahle, Melusi out.